This is a News Channel 2 Town Hall meeting, the sewer solvent scandal.
We welcome you back to our meeting. We're rapidly running out of time.
We are. We have many, many callers on the line, and we want to get to them immediately. If you can hear me, go ahead. Let's take your call.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, go ahead with your question.
What accounting firm does the city's annual audit? And why didn't they suggest any of the safeguards that the state auditor's office has to be put into place?
Wow, you're smiling there, so go ahead.
I'm afraid you put me on the spot. I can't remember the name.
Well, it's okay, but there is one, and answer the second part of the question.
We do go out for bids, and we have the books audited every year. The city has been awarded excellence in auditing or accounting 14 out of the last 15 years. And
that's stunning. How do they get that when this happened?
The reference was made to banks earlier as far as embezzlement that takes place at banks. There was nothing found wrong with the accounting practices with the city, nothing whatsoever. The state auditor confirmed that. There was some question as far as some of the purchasing procedures. Those have been addressed by the city council. We are continuing to address additional procedures to tighten them up.
Okay, thank you. Next caller, please, your question.
If I could add in, can I jump in just
Go ahead,
a
sure.
second? The state auditor has looked at the city's books before. They were called back by the DCI to look specifically at one department and those practices going on there. So this was a special audit, very narrow in scope.
I have a question for all of you. Just going back to Beverly Van Horn just for a moment. Why did it take 6 years for someone to notice that hundreds of thousands of dollars was being spent on this, perhaps incorrectly? What took so long? Why? It's a tough question, but any answers?
I can only relate that in January, Carol Martin came to my office and made some comments about sewer solvent purchases. It was at that time that my office put together a list going back about 2 years of all the sewer solvent that was purchased, and we made a typed list of that. And at that time, since it's public record, I gave Carol Martin a copy of it because she brought it to my attention, and I immediately took a copy of it over to Commissioner Thomas, and I said, I think you got a problem.
But it was still 3 months before. But it was
as
still
a matter
3
of
months.
fact, that's the list that Sandy Riesgraf
Okay.
showed on the TV when she broke her story.
All right, we're just about out of time. I would like to give each of you gentlemen a chance to respond and say anything that you'd like. You'll have 30 seconds apiece. We know it was tough being down here tonight and facing the public's questions and
Yes,
things.
we greatly appreciate it.
Don Thomas, we start with you, sir.
Well, with this 7.5-month investigation now behind us, I'm interested in proceeding with our everyday normal business in a very positive manner. And I believe that most of our workers are honest, hard workers, and I've stressed with them that my goal is to proceed from this point in time on with efficiency and with good attitudes and honesty. That's very important to me, and I think it's got to be very important to them. We need to improve our image to our customers as citizens. I'm encouraged that we can get on with normal business now while the legal system takes care of the due process of law in this situation.
All right, thank you very much.
JD, in 30 seconds or less?
Well, the investigation isn't quite over yet, and the legal process is taking its avenues. I think it's time that the council tightened up its management practices and take care of the respective departments. And I encourage any citizen that has any questions about any department to call any one of us.
All right, very good. Mayor?
Again, I'd like to thank KGAN for sponsoring tonight's town meeting. I think, as the other commissioners pointed out, a tough issue. We elected 5 people last year in this community to deal with tough issues. We're beginning to continue the effort towards purchasing, receiving all those policies, and I'd just like to assure the people in this community that the City Council will not stop once this investigation is over to make change. Change is ongoing, change for the better, and we've got people here that will deal with those issues.
Lyle?
Just to echo what's been said, I agree, but to build on that, I guess the community needs to remember that this is only a black eye, it's not a death blow. We have an excellent community here, excellent city workers. We have a wonderful place to live and work, and the council is working with that to continue to make it a better future for all of us.
All right, Commissioner Kramer.
I'd just like to point out that the people in the field, the guys that are working, men and women working in the city, are 99.9% honest, hardworking individuals, and they are also angry about this because they have been smeared just as bad as anybody, and they're going to take the hit for what 5 bad people have done.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We appreciate your
being here.
concern and your care for being here tonight. Well, it's clear from tonight's discussion that the sewer solvent scandal is far from over, but we are making progress. We hope our town meeting has helped you to understand what went wrong and what the City of Cedar Rapids is doing to move forward.
We'd like to thank our Mayor Larry Serbisek and the City Council members Don Thomas, J.D. Smith, Lyle Hansen, and David Kramer. We'd also like to thank you at home for calling in your questions and, most of all, for getting involved.
Thanks for joining us.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
This town hall meeting, the sewer solvent scandal, was produced by KGAN-TV, News Channel 2.